I won't name the coach. I mean, we were just talking, so I don't know. I don't think he would mind it being out there, but I won't put him out there anyway. He said that Jason Williams was incredibly knowledgeable as a player. He coached Jason.
I dispute it.
And he said that he thinks he would be a great head coach in the future. Now, this was when he was still playing. And so take that for what it's worth. But this comment didn't sound like it. Here he is.
I don't care who you are, but this one-on-one ISOs, when GP was out there on that island, you asked MJ, it was easy for him to get to the bucket against GP as it would be against Drew Holiday today with Giannis and Brook Lopez sitting back there. He's not scoring as easy today as he did back then.
Stop it! Jason Williams. And this is not about that was our era. This is not, oh man, get off my lawn. This is none of that. Jason, did you watch basketball in the 1980s and 1990s? Even if you didn't watch, are you aware that when Michael Jordan got to the rim, who was at the rim? Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning,
Patrick Ewing,
Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson. Are you kidding me? Rick Smits, Mark Eaton, who was one of the best shot blockers ever.
9 foot tall.
Right. Are you kidding me? And not to mention that, Rob, or beyond that, back then the floor wasn't spread. Floor wasn't spread out. Dudes wasn't all at the three-point line. When Michael Jordan, as everybody else in that era, went to the rim, it was 6 and 7 dudes in the paint. You had to know how to finish. I laugh when people talk about, they got a big man, he gonna clog up the paint because you ain't gonna be able to drive. It's one dude. And I understand what they're saying, but if you, what? People used to drive all the time when the paint was full of people at every level. I wasn't a great basketball player at any high level, and I was driving. There's people in the paint. So to say that Michael Jordan could not finish or would have more trouble finishing against Brook freaking Lopez? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I'm sorry, Jason. That's ridiculous. It makes no sense, Rob.
I think Jason Williams is in a white chocolate coma. What are you talking about, Jason? I mean, Chris,
it's bizarre.
It's never been easier to score in the NBA. Chris, never.
Never.
And he's going to say that Michael Jordan couldn't score? You just brought up all the people Michael had to go through. Did you watch Michael Jordan against the Detroit Pistons? Or did you never watch that? I don't remember, Chris. Was he held to no points? Stop.
He averaged, I think, 37 against them, and they were hammering him.
Every single time.
That, the Jordan rules.
Yes. Right? Come on, man, with this. This old thing of everything that happened yesterday is better than anything that ever happened. We need to get off of this. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't know what his future is or what he's trying to do or this is his podcast or what he wants to do with it. But, dude, be careful because you'll lose your credibility real quick. And it won't matter that you played in the league, okay? You'll lose your credibility. We've seen this happen with some players who go out with these crazy things, and they'll hear you for a minute, Chris, and then you'll be dismissed.
Yeah, you have to, as a player, Rob and I talk to ex-players, and we tell them, look, you got to be willing to speak your mind.
No doubt.
You can't be like, oh, I played with this guy. Oh, that was my coach. Oh, I might want to get back in the league and not say anything. You have to be honest, give your honest opinions. However, you have to walk the fine line between giving your honest opinions and spouting foolishness.
Right.
Because some people feel like, let me just go out there with a hot take. And if it's too hot and that is ridiculous, You can, Rob. You can lose your credibility.
You can, where people go, okay, let me see. So a month ago, White Chocolate was ripping Kobe, and now he's ripping MJ. Okay, we know his act, Chris.
Right, they will think that.
And that's what it is, okay? Like, it's just an act. He wants to get some attention. How do you get attention? You rip some of the iconic players. Michael Jordan, considered by many the greatest player of all time. Yeah, tell people Michael Jordan wouldn't be able to score in today's NBA. Come on.
It just, and again, look, if you don't think MJ's the GOAT, fine.
Yeah,
give us a reason.
It's subjective, right? That's fine.
Of your argument. If you don't think he'd be the best player in the league right now, fine. Give us a reasoned defense of your argument. But it's harder to score nowadays? What? There is no rim protection. There's one defender in the rim when you get there. Oh, and by the way, teams also often push guys to the mid-range. They want you to take the mid-range shot. We've all seen players be right, like drive, got an open 15-footer, and won't take it. They'll either kick it out for a three or dribble out themselves, even though they've got an open mid-range shot. Michael Jordan was a mid-range assassin.
Killer. That's
so
with an
if
A.
you push him to the mid-range, first of all, it's easier to get to the rim. He was getting to the rim when it was hand checking, and when once you got in there, the paint was packed, and they could hard foul you and it not be a big deal. Hey, that's the era he was in. So
you weren't tossed out, Chris. You weren't tossed out the game.
No, it was get on the line and take your 2 free throws.
Yep.
Right? And so you gonna actually tell me, it wouldn't be easier for him to score today? Giannis averages 1.3 blocks a game for his career. Giannis has never averaged 2 blocks a game. I get it. He's long. He's athletic. He's great. But when did he become Dikembe Mutombo? Or some great shot? Did I even mention Olajuwon about Jordan? I mean, that was arguably the greatest defensive player ever. I mean, come on. Rob, Michael Jordan, I am fully convinced of this. And I'm not saying for his career.
I already know what you're going to say.
But he would have a few seasons. If he played in today's NBA, he would have a few seasons where he averaged 40 points a game.
I do not disagree, because those baskets he was making as well, Chris, from the perimeter would be threes, add some points, right?
He'd shoot more threes.
He would shoot more threes because that's the way the game is.
Yep.
And I totally agree. And he would probably go to the line 4 or 5 more times a game as well, Chris, because of you can't touch him.
Right.
Foul.
Good point.
Foul. Right?
Yep.
Foul. He's shooting free
Great
throws.
point.
Come on.
Great
What are you talking about? Stop.
I like Jay when he played. His game was fun to watch, and he matured and, helped Miami. Remember, he was on that championship team in 2006. I'm surprised, Rob. I mean, this is such a ridiculous comment. I'm just surprised that he said this.
Now, was this his podcast, Rob G, or was somebody on with him? Because again, Chris, here's my last thing about pushback. You just can't say, where's somebody else in the room to say, what?
Well, I'm not fully familiar with the show, but from Twitter, it looks like it's his streaming podcast.
Okay. So there's nobody to push back on him.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.